My ex-husband cheated on me with my sister. He just emailed me after 6 years and said, I met my ex-husband Dan almost 15 years ago at a restaurant when I was celebrating my 18th birthday. He was really nice, charming, and mature. He made me feel loved and special. For some context, I grew up in a dysfunctional family. My mom and dad used to always fight. My dad would sometimes go out and not come back for months. He died when my sister Abby was born. My mom was way too fond of Abby since her birth rather than me. Abby was basically babied by my mother. She didn't neglect me at all and always did her best as a mother and provided for me, but I always felt something was missing. After Dan came into my life, I didn't feel like there was something missing. He supported me, and he was caring. He would always buy me gifts and take me out on long drives. I felt complete when I was with him. We got married after dating for 4 years. I wanted to start a family right away, but Dan encouraged me to do my master's and helped me build my career. He wanted us to be in a stable position financially before we started thinking about having kids. Seriously, he was the best guy I could ever ask for. After 5 years of being happily married, I discovered that my husband was cheating on me with Abby. I discovered the affair when my husband made an excuse that he would go out of town for a week, but he stayed in town and booked a hotel room where he and Abby could have sex. This had been going on for 6 months behind my back. I was really devastated. Abby and I were close growing up. I loved her and cared for her. How could she do this to me? After the D-Day, Dan and I had a fight. I asked how he could do this to me, especially with my sister, who had just turned 19. He said he didn't love me anymore, that I didn't give him enough attention, and that I wasn't the same girl he fell in love with. In the middle of this mess, I discovered that I was pregnant, but due to the stress, I lost the baby. He didn't even care enough to visit me at the hospital when I lost our child. He was having a weekend getaway with my sister. I should have seen the signs. Abby would always be touchy with Dan. Dan would sometimes stare at her, but it is still very disturbing for me. My mother, as usual, took Abby's side and told me to just make peace with it. I wanted to KL myself because I had no one left. I lost my child, my husband, and my whole family. Then my best friend Tina, my savior, came to my rescue. She was moving to another state and asked me to come with her. I said yes. I was already divorced at that point and we lived in a small town, so I would obviously run into my ex and my sister. It took me a while to settle into my new life in a different state, but I met some kind people there. It helped me heal some trauma. I still have trust issues. I met my now husband Tony, 32M, after 1 year of moving to the new place. I was really hesitant and kept my guard up, but he showed me that he is trustworthy and loves me a lot. I was so happy with him that I almost forgot about the life I had back in my hometown. His parents were really welcoming and generous people. We got married a year ago. I am now pregnant with our first child. Yesterday, I got an email from my ex Dan. It just brought back all the bad memories. I am just paraphrasing his email. He mentioned that he misses me. He tried to find me but couldn't. He is very miserable with my sister. She is very dumb and doesn't care about him like I do. I used to bake him a cake and throw birthday parties for him, but Abby only texted him, "Happy birthday," and didn't even bother to buy him a cake. Plus, she is very rude. She doesn't respect him, and she is always at the bar with her friends. He also mentioned that she has cheated on him 5 times already. The last affair was with his cousin. Our mother also doesn't stop her. He will soon file for a divorce, but lately, he has been missing me a lot. He wants us to try again as a couple. He wants us to become a family just like before. Since I do not have social media except for Instagram, which is private, he probably doesn't know that I am married and have a baby on the way. I don't know if I should feel pity for him or just laugh because the grass on his side is very brown rather than green. I have decided to send him an email and be done with it. It goes like this. Dan, I'm sorry to hear that you are suffering, but there is no way I would be with you. Yes, there was a time when I would have taken you in a heartbeat, but that girl is not there anymore. That girl died the day I had a miscarriage, and you were somewhere shacking up with my sister. I called you, but you never picked up. I am married to a wonderful man who loves me and cherishes me. I am also pregnant with our first child. I am beginning this new chapter of my life with someone I love and care for deeply. So please, do not contact me ever again. You made your choice. You chose my barely legal sister over me. I do not care if she cheats on you or doesn't respect you. Someone like you doesn't deserve loyalty and respect anyway. I have left my old life in my old town. It would be best for you to move on and self-reflect. You are just a deeply insecure man who is getting old and thought having a young woman would be good by your side. Goodbye. He replied within an hour of me emailing him. He said that he was stupid enough to believe that I would still wait for him. He said he would always wait for me because, no matter what, I will always be his baby doll. I cringed hard. He used to call me that, but now it feels repulsive. I also got an email from my mom and my sister. My mom just congratulated me and was excited that she was going to be a grandmother. And my sister did the same and said she would be the cool aunt. I cannot believe these people. They forgot how they treated me when I needed them. And they betrayed me. It seems like my sister and I were groomed by that man. I feel so stupid. I know I shouldn't be mad at my sister, but she was old enough to know it's wrong to have an affair with a married man, especially with your sister's husband. I blocked all of them. I am 5 months pregnant already. I don't need more stress. God bless my husband. He comforted me when I cried and later took me out for ice cream. I hope I can move past this. A few hours later, I got 2 more emails from my mom and sister. They sent them to my old email address that I hardly use now. I don't know how they knew about my pregnancy. I try to keep a low profile. I still haven't posted my baby bump pictures on social media or made any announcements. I only have Instagram to follow my friends, but it just scared me. I broke down crying on the spot. Luckily, my husband, Tony, was around. He held me and put me on the couch. He knows everything about me. I never hid anything from him. I was a little bit scared that my mom and sister would find me. He reassured me that I am hundreds of miles away from them. I mean, we are on the opposite side of the country. I told him about my concerns and that my mom and sister might demand to see my baby. It's a girl. He said he would talk to his uncle, who is a police officer, to be on the lookout for them. Even if they come here and force themselves on me, he would fight for me. He is going to consult his lawyer friend about this matter and told me not to worry about my ex. He cannot harm me anymore. My husband even made a joke that he would move countries if he had to. Lastly, someone in my post commented that I should alert the daycare about my mom and sister in case they try to steal my baby. Well, we aren't planning to put her in daycare. Even though I am currently working, I have decided to quit my job to look after my baby and focus on healing from giving birth. I do have a good amount of savings in my personal bank. This is my own decision. I will go back to work when our little princess is a bit older. My in-laws are amazing. My Mile and File live nearby. They are both good people and offered to help with my child. Also, don't worry, apart from my in-laws, I have a good support system too. Tina and her wife Jenny basically adopted me, LOL. They are really good people and have always helped me. I don't know what will happen in the future, but at least I am surrounded by some good people that I never had growing up. Now I will take my leave and enjoy my husband pampering me. If something big happens, I will keep you guys updated, and my ex-sister and mother are all blocked. My husband is cheating on me with my best friend. My husband and I have been dating since I was 19 and he was 22. We've been married for 6 years now. We have 2 kids and I'm 6 months pregnant with our third. 2 years ago, I found out my dad has stage 3 colon cancer. My dad is my only parent, as my mom passed away when I was 12. He's my favorite human, and life without him doesn't seem as colorful. His laugh is contagious, and he gives these big bear hugs that make all of your broken pieces feel like they're perfectly in place again. Whenever I've had a hard day, he doesn't poke and prod. He just lets me vent and listens. About 5 months ago, we discovered the treatments weren't working for him, and the doctor said, months, not years. Since then, he's gotten progressively worse and is now losing memory. He looked at the dog he got for me on my 21st birthday and said, "Wow, that's a nice dog. Where'd you get it?" My husband has been my absolute rock. He has been there for me, holding my hand and helping me through this. He's been so loving and attentive to both my kids and me. Don't get me wrong, I am a mother first, always. I don't allow myself to wallow. My kids are still loved, cared for, played with. and I haven't let my load slack around the house. Once my dad got his updated prognosis, my husband encouraged me to quit my job. About a month later, we discovered we were pregnant again, and I still hadn't let go of my job. I kept holding out for some reason. After finding out I was pregnant again, he assured me it was still okay to quit my job, that honestly, it would save us a small fortune on daycare costs anyway. So I did. I quit my job. My best friend and I have been friends since diapers. Her family is like my family and vice versa. My mom and her mom grew up together. We've always been solid, and right after my dad's appointment, when we found out he had so little time left, I drove straight to her house and she held me while I cried for hours. If there are soulmates in friend form, she was mine. Thick as thieves is what my mom used to say. This morning, as I was up with my 3-year-old, he's sick, my husband's work alarm was going off. He has a few he sets, so I turned that one off and gently woke him up. He said he was up late working, so he took the morning off, rolled over, and went back to sleep. As I went to turn off the remainder of his alarms, I saw a text from my friend on his lock screen that said, "I'm assuming since there hasn't been an angry pregnant lady on my doorstep, you haven't told her about us yet?" Time froze in that moment. I took his phone and walked away and just read their conversations. For 4 months, this man has been sleeping with my best friend. For 4 months, these people have been lying to my face. And I know what you're going to say, you should have seen the warning signs. But I've been clutching this phone in my hand for 2 hours and nothing. He has been so loving and attentive to me, but he always has been. So kind and gentle. There have been no late-night work nights except once in a blue moon. There have been no lingering touches between them, or even glances. They act as they have since the day I first introduced them. How sick is it that she calls him her brother but sleeps with him? I know so many people get a moment of clarity in situations like this, but I have none. Aside from being sad about my dad, I haven't changed. I'm still a loving wife and mother. I still dote on him and my children. I talk to him about how he is doing and how his day was every freaking day. I haven't allowed the ground to swallow me whole. I know what I have to do now, but I just don't want to. I'm about to lose my family and my support system in one blow. I'll confront him tomorrow. Today I just need this last 24 hours of peace. As for her, I won't give her the satisfaction of a response. I don't care why she did it, and it's done. I was always the friend who cleaned up her messes. After today, I will cut her out of my life like she never mattered at all. This has to be the hardest storm I'll ever weather. But damn it, I know I'll sail through it. If not for me, for my children.